Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hybiz News. My name is Suresh Kochakil. All of us have been focused, or rather I would say tormented by one thing, Covid-19. What started as a single case of infection in a student from Wuhan who landed up in his hometown of Thrissur in Kerala has now gone nationwide. Within days and then weeks, the coronavirus pandemic had traveled to every nook and corner of the country. More importantly, the lockdown had helped control the virus, but once Unlock 1.0 came into being, suddenly all hell broke loose. People, especially migrants who were stuck for months in cities, started traveling, and they started traveling to remote corners of the country. I'm not blaming the exodus, but this move actually helped carry the virus infections to even the northeastern parts of the country, which were relatively not impacted till then. The resumption of flights under the Vande Bharat Mission added to the huge spike of infections in states like Kerala, which by then had brought down the daily infection to single digits. In between, we saw a clutch of states like Maharashtra, Delhi and Tamil Nadu adding massively to the nationwide count of positive cases. The doubling of cases is now happening at a faster clip, which is added by the higher levels of testing. While many states have claimed that they have ramped up the public health infrastructure, the on-ground horror stories belie this claim. On the other hand, horrendous exploitation by many private hospitals of patients, first by refusing admission and then by inflated billing, has made life miserable for many Covid-19 patients and their families. Many states have managed to rein in this money-making apparatus, but in certain states, things are out of control. It goes without saying that private sector cannot run free services as they are answerable to the investors and shareholders at the end of the day. What is required is a judicious mix of state-funded treatment for those who cannot afford private hospitals and the well-to-do paying the full tariff. But that is not the crux of the matter. It is testing, tracking and treating. While testing at a national level is now on the rise, many states, particularly Telangana, missed the boat. In the state, testing was in a back burner for one full month from May 16th to June 14th, with a strategy to keep the number of cases low in the Telangana area. But even a school kid will tell you that means the state government allowed the infected folks to walk around and infect hundreds of others. Well, that's exactly what happened. At least now the state has woken up thanks to the prodding from the Telangana High Court and the ICMR and started testing in the right earnest. But it may be a case of too little, too late. On the other hand, we see a big amount of Covid-19 cases being discharged, which is a good thing. If you look from a historical perspective, the country has seen the first case on 30th of January. Since then, today, we have 9,37,000 cases historically. We should be actually looking at the active cases, which is around 3,19,000 as I speak now. So we have roughly 1/3 of the positive cases in the active range, and 2/3 or close to 6 lakh patients have been discharged, which is an extremely good thing. But the sad part is also that we lost 24,323 people to this virus. So the question is, where do we go from here? When will this pandemic disappear? That's $1 million question, or rather make it $1 trillion. Because over a dozen pharma companies from across the world are in the final lap of a 100 meters dash to get a vaccine past the human trial stage. The Russians claim that they already completed the human trials, and just like the Sputnik, they want to show the world that they've beaten Uncle Sam to it. Even 2 Indian companies, Bharat Biotech and Zydus Cadila, are also in the race, both at the human trial stage. But will the virus do a repeat of SARS? If you recollect, many pharma companies then were in the final stages of developing a vaccine for SARS when the virus simply disappeared. It's a different matter that some of the molecules from that were repurposed this time, and during the present pandemic, we are trying to develop drugs from that. What are the lessons the pandemic has taught us? 1. Never take anything for granted. Even the biggest business conglomerate in this world have gone belly up The smartest ones have dumped their existing business model and gone for a totally new way to run the business. Schools have gone online, a big change from the traditional modes. No more cinema theaters, it's OTT platforms now. Work from home has become a norm, not an exception. No more of this boring office meeting, it's all on Zoom now. Don't tell me that this is all the new normal that everyone is talking about. There's nothing new in this normal. It is going to be the normal from now on. And if you don't adapt to the changing scenario, you and me and others will be Jurassic. I'm sure you don't want to end up like that. So get up and change the world. Thank you for watching.